Nathan, question. The Lumineth Realm Lords character, okay.
Oh, yeah, that Law Master guy, yeah?
No.
No. Another one.
Sorry, the guy who's the Wind Mage, he's on a cloud.
Yeah, with
Okay.
a stick on a cloud,
He's a guy who's on a cloud,
Yeah.
right, flying on the cloud. Is the cloud a mount or not a mount?
I don't know. What does it say on the thing? On the words?
Well, I know what the words say.
What does the word
But
say?
I'm asking
Is it
you-
a companion? Maybe it's a companion. That's what it is. The cloud is a companion.
Yeah, the cloud doesn't have an attack. The rules as written are that it's not mounted.
Oh,
And I guess
you
a
go.
cloud isn't a mount.
no.
But I worry that it might be. Because Tzeentch are on discs.
And do those count as mounts?
They're mounts.
Oh.
They're demons trapped in a disc.
Okay.
It's a frisbee
Yes.
with a demon in it.
Sentient.
Sentient
Whereas
frisbees.
his cloud isn't sentient. It's just
Never been.
some vapor.
It's just some water, really. It's effectively just the Hydro Homies listen to the podcast, is what it is.
Yeah.
Those discs have no eyes, I agree. It's an emission, is an interesting one. The cloud doesn't have an attack. The effect of the cloud is cumulative.
Guys.
MJ Pegasus is very
That was
funny.
very skillfully worded, sir.
All right, okay, so ignoring that guy, also the Stone Mage,
Oh, on a rock.
he's on a rock.
Is that a mount?
Is that a mount? Yes or no?
But a lot of things are on rocks.
I think you're right.
I mean,
hadn't thought about that.
At one point or another, you could say we are mounted on this planet.
Which is a rock.
Yeah, it is my mount. Giddy up.
Giddy up, baby.
Giddy up, planet.
Giddy up. Okay, fine.
All right.
Okay, and horses are just friends, so really it's all become very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, mounts are alive. I mean, I'm trying to think of an example where a mount isn't alive. So, is the battle mage on Hurricaneum? He's on the cart.
What about
The cart isn't alive.
No, but it's pulled by horses which are alive. But what about
He's not on the horse.
Yeah. But what about I got one.
No,
The Nighthawk guy on a dead horse. It's not alive, it's a dead horse.
it's a dead horse. That's
Yeah.
a good one. I actually watched a real. I haven't told you about this. I was watching a YouTube video the other day about how things connect and if they are or aren't a thing.
What?
Okay, all right. Okay, let me give you an example.
Things,
Right?
That's where
Okay, so if I get a bunch of blocks
Yeah.
and I stack them on top of each other, what
Yeah.
is that?
that's a bunch of blocks. A stack of blocks.
It's a tower.
Sure.
It's a tower, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
But then when I knock them apart,
Yeah.
they're no longer a tower.
No, it's a collapsed tower.
It's a collapsed tower,
Yeah.
right?
If
Yeah.
it was a tower,
Yet a bikini
yeah.
is separate,
Yeah.
yeah, as in they're not touching, yet all of it is a bikini.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah. All right.
That's it. There's a lot about,
I don't understand.
okay, there's...
A bikini is, the sum of two parts.
No, it's not the sum of two parts, though. It's a singular thing.
Yeah, but it's the singular thing is the sum of two parts.
Well, actually, so there's two schools of thought on it. Some
yeah.
people say that, a thing needs... In order for a thing to be a thing, it needs to connect.
No.
I agree, right? But then, in that case... what was the example? I'm trying to remember. There was something happening. They were just. It was like chairs. Chairs aren't real. Chairs aren't real. Basically, there's a long story about it.
Are they mounts?
That's a great question. I really want to find the video now. Hold on, one sec. It starts with a sock. Okay, the problem begins with John Locke's argument. Okay, here we go. This is important, right? Fuck the chat, right? They have to deal with it. Philosophy gets a bad rap. Okay, the problem begins with John Locke's undergarment, specifically his sock. He wondered if my sock gets a hole in it and then is subsequently patched, does it remain the same sock? Then further, what if it were patched twice? What if it went through so many repairs that no original threads remained, like Trigger's
Yeah.
from only
Would it still be the same sock?
This dilemma has been thought about for thousands of years.
Fuck. What? Fuck. Jeez, Sloth, somebody needs to give those guys a kick in the gonads.
Some philosophers have answered, yes, it remains the same sock, while others have said, no, it's a different sock. As I will elaborate shortly, both these answers have big problems. The easiest conclusion is to say a sock never existed in the first place.
No, it's not the easiest. You lazy bastards.
Yeah, that's the easiest.
No, fight it. Okay. Fight it out until you decide. If the sock existed, just because that's the easy answer doesn't mean it's the right answer.
Okay, all right. Well, if you want, we can go back. Look, there's an entire video, about do chairs exist. Look, this is what I was watching. Okay, let's quickly hold on. Let me make it so the chat can hear. There we go. Right.
And chairs are what philosophers call ordinary objects.
Okay, here we go.
Ordinary objects are the plain old common sense things we deal with every day.
You love hammers.
He's quite a flexible guy.
He's very flexible.
Cross his legs like that.
Buckets, rocks, stuff like that.
Okay,
Their
things.
existence is as obvious as possible. But the more we try to suss out where they are, the more sus they become. First of all, sure, this could all be a dream. Maybe we've all been hallucinating chairs all these years. Or this could be part of the simulated reality, pumped into our brains while our bodies are harvested for energy. But underneath that skepticism, there's a deeper ontological question we need to answer first. Regardless of whether this spoon is made of real atoms or simulated atoms, is it really possible to be made of something? Take a look at these two things. As we all know...
Right, you stay back with me, right? Right, this is so good, right? Because I promise you're going to get into it.
2 minus 1 is 2. There are two things here. There's an origami crane and a piece of paper. I'm just kidding, of course. There's just one thing. The crane and the paper are the same. But watch this.
Okay.
Where'd the crane go?
Exactly!
If the paper and the crane were truly identical, they would share everything in common.
They're not
but clearly,
truly identical, though. Who said they were?
No one said that they were identical, but something can't exist at the same space at the same time as something else.
Yes, it can.
Okay, well, let's listen.
No,
okay.
The paper can survive.
We're not doing the review anymore. This is now what we're doing. Chat, this is what the Honest Wargame was designed for. Welcome to Saturday night, baby.
I've been unfolded, and the crane cannot. Also, I made the crane, but I didn't make the paper. And the paper was around before the crane. You know, for two things that are the same, they sure are different. This relationship is called constitution. Paper constitutes the crane. It's a one-to-one relationship. But there's another kind of being made of going on here, too. This paper, for example, is made not of one other thing, but of sextillions of things. Fundamental subatomic particles, electrons and quarks, or strings, or physical and virtual fields. This many-to-one relationship is called composition. Philosophers call whatever it is that matters...
It's like the show. Like, there's me and there's you, but when we're together, we make the greatest show you can have.
I don't know if I'm convinced that this is a good show now, because we're watching
is
this
ultimately composed
and
of
it's stupid
symbols.
changing
a symbol
words.
is a thing that, unlike a piece of paper, has no parts, no
What's
substructure,
the difference
not even a
between
top or
making
bottom.
the crane out of paper and making the paper out of atoms?
That's what he's talking about.
No, but why does he have to make it different?
Okay,
Why
hold on.
can't it
Let's get
just
to
be
this
the
bit. Let's get to this bit. Okay.
For something to exist is simply for there to be more than zero of it. So Pegasus exists if we mean, are there any winged horses in works of fiction and mythology? And Pegasus does not exist if we mean, are there any physical, flesh and blood winged horses that evolved on Earth through natural selection? Okay, so if we can agree on that, then of course chairs exist. There's this one right here. I can see it.
And is a mount.
Yeah.
Okay.
That mount is
That is
there.
a mount,
Yeah.
okay? This is the important part.
And I can feel it, and I can taste it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's kind of dry, a little bit
No,
salty.
dry is not a taste.
Dry and salty are what we call properties. Properties tell us
Okay,
what
this
things
is where we get into
are
it. This is
like.
the big bit.
For example, this slice of cheese is floppy. By noticing and sharing properties, we can let each other know what to expect from things. And we all more or less agree on what things there are. We give names to stuff, and if they catch on, we put them in dictionaries with the word noun next to them. But are all of these nouns an inventory of the universe or an inventory of things we made? Let me put it this
Exactly.
way. Do islands exist? Well,
Okay.
it's in the dictionary.
This one's okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So
So
I
what-
voice this.
yeah.
I voice this. Chat and Nathan. Do islands exist? Yes or no?
Yes.
Chat. Yes or no? Islands exist?
Yes.
Yes or no? Okay. Right. Libe says no. Dr. Demento says yes. Okay. Stay with me for 3 minutes. Okay. Get ready.
And a quick look around confirms that there are more than 0 islands. So, yes, islands exist. But what about in-cars? An in-car is a car that is in a garage. As a car leaves a garage, an in-car diminishes at the threshold until it collapses into non-existence. Later, an extremely similar in-car may emerge at the same threshold when the car returns. Are there any cars in garages right now? Well, if so, then in-cars exist. But you might be thinking, that's not a thing. You just made that up. And it's silly. Being in a garage is just a property that a car can have. Stop trying to make in-cars a thing. Okay, but first of all, I didn't make it up. Eli Hirsch did. And second of all, if you think in-cars aren't things, wait until you hear about islands. An in-car might just be a relation between a car and a garage, but an island is just a relation between land and some water. Now, of course, island might be a more useful concept than in-car, but does that make islands objectively more real than in-cars? And what about trogs? A trog is an object.
Okay, this is where he starts talking about trees and dogs together. You don't need to-
It's just, I'm just like trying to invent new words.
No, he's
That's
saying
fine.
like if you got an island and you submerged it, it wouldn't be an island. The property of it being an island is that it doesn't. So my point is if we can solve this in a night bow, is that a mount is a property of a character.
I hate analogies. These
It's not an analogy.
That was an analogy. He was trying to say that islands and in-cars. I think he's just like trying to invent words, which
Well,
might
Eli
already.
Hirsch tried to invent words.
Whatever.
Shakespeare invented
It's
a lot of words. We
as
use them all the time.
Vocabulary, yeah. So if somebody wants to use that word, go ahead. Knock themselves. They can do it.
Okay, we took a
But
lot.
islands exist and in-cars exist for those people that want to use that word. The rest of the fuckers, tell them to bugger off and
Okay.
do something else.
All right, listen, I think we've done really well there. And so when we come back to the video, people will be very convinced. If anyone wants to watch this, by the way, here's a link. Feel free. Yeah.
Guy. I mean, he's super flexible.
It's very
That's about it.
Okay, all right, let's get back to this. 'cause-
Lost cop inside of his
He's-
head.
Okay. Okay, so let's carry on. Right, okay, so the important part is, and that we've now spent 25 minutes researching, is that a mount is a property of a champion as opposed to part of a champion.
Yeah, it's like an upgrade thing, isn't it?
A property?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, technically, I guess a chair could be a mount.
Yeah, depending on your definition of what a mount is.
Well, to Games Workshop, it's not a cloud, but it is a disc.
Yeah, but it's a sentient disc that's got a demon inside of it.
That's
as
particular
opposed to
case.
just a disc.
That's true. That's
Right.
true. That's true. But isn't one of the Gobblepalooza riding a mushroom?
Yes.
Is it a mount?
No.
But
I don't know. It might be.
but its property
I
is a
always
mushroom.
say it's mounted, actually. When I'm playing with it, I tell people, this guy is on a mount, that's why he's got 4 wounds instead of 3. Like
That's the
this
essence.
guy that doesn't.
Yeah, that's the essence of
yes,
human
that's
thought. We've applied property to it.
Human thought is rubbish anyway.